Top of the morning to you guys. My name is Paul, one of the pioneer batch of ADT who got into films and writing poetry. Unfortunately, I can't meet you all online today due to priorities, but I'll do my best to give you the tips and tricks from the hat for your preparation in your upcoming college life. You may know me for being Manuel at our very own ADT play, Pasigueme, an adaptation of the legend of the Pasig River. I was also credited as their scriptwriter there. I won first runner-up for English poem during LSCA 2021 English Month and also became the writer-director of a feature-length film called Hiraya. And from what I think it is, all of these proudest moments when I was back in LSCA are so far my greatest milestones or highlights in senior high, and it really felt amazing to be back here. Based on the tapestries I left here, people recognize me as Makata or poet. My classmates also knew that I was into films and novels, and I believe it's what I'm good at. It's my forte. Anyways, let's cut to the chase. The correlation of this stuff I'm saying is because now we are going to talk about literature and creative writing, which is pretty much related to my hobbies. I know that this topic somehow will benefit more from the Yom strand, but I do hope that some of you have the spirit and the passion to write poems and prose just like me in creative writing. Again, I'm Paul Benedict. I come from the Lions Den, San Beda University, Manila, home of the champions, one of the prestigious schools in UBelt. And I'm taking a Bachelor of Arts in Literature. So far, I could say it was indeed a quality experience for me to study here, but I also recommend that you try to enroll and take exams at universities like Ateneo, UP LaSalle, Taft, and UST. I believe they also have a good credibility and platform for arts and letters. So, anyways, going ahead, these are the courses somewhat similar to my department, and I believe if you are willing to be one of uh these, then this video is going to be beneficial for you. Programs like technical writing, creative writing, um, there's also theater arts and filmmaking, but specifically we only do the screenplay. I think it's seldom during subjects we are tasked to do plays, but specifically we only focused on the medium itself, which is the script, and uh that's what we usually do on our class instead of the whole theater or filmmaking thing. We also have communication and English education here. So, again, these are the coverages of this talk. They are the focal points. These are the programs I think is somewhat similar to the teaching of my department. Well, moving on, let's get to the main course of this presentation, which is answering your uh, frequently asked questions. And the first comes to mind is, what are the things you need to consider when choosing literature or creative writing? I think first thing that you need to remember is that this is literature. Um, then it means that you must be competent enough to read and write literary compositions. So things like poetry, novels, essay, journals, and articles are the stuff that you need to be acclimated to. Um, there are only two skills that you need to be adequate when taking this course, which are reading and writing. Those two are the basic things that you need to uh, uh, be fluent of. Um, Not only that, but You must also be proficient enough on speaking and using both languages, which is the English and Filipino language. But the hardest part of them all is for you to see the relationship and the unity of each word you blurted out and struck down from pen to paper. What I mean by this is that the hardest part of literature is to understand and sympathize the story. Just like this quote that I can pretty much relate to, the process of writing and understanding literary compositions, because not only do you need to be smart, you also need to be linguistically advanced for you to understand such complex terms. You need to be emotionally intact on what you are feeling right now when reading. I say this because putting your heart on your sleeve wholly depends on you. You need to bring enough honesty to your work for you to sympathize with what is it like to be in the shoes of another. It might be another character, or are you referring to are you referring to someone's morals? You need to know what you ought to know, what it feels like to be a part of a story. In real life, that's what I call poetic justice. If you put some dedicated quality into your work, that's that's the best reward you could ever do for yourself and your creations. The second one is to know your what's your writing style. While writing, you also need to discover for yourself how you want to start and to finish your work. What elements you are accustomed enough to use in your narrations. I find this very important because it kind of adds some pizzazz, or what you call fancy text, in your compositions. Example, um, the usage of figures of speech like similes, metaphors, irony, and them. Literary devices like foreshadowing, flashbacks, and imageries that you could make use for better descriptions. Not only that, but it also matters when it comes to pre-writing. Are you the kind of person who outlines first to view the whole framework of what the story is going to be like before jumping off to the writing process? I mean, for others, they find it very useful, especially because it has a discipline and a guideline of where the story goes. While some prefer to go with the flow of writing, it's more like on the spot thinking of what's next. So you need to know, are you either a gardener or an architect? In literary terms, architecture is one of uh, um architect is the one that plans ahead where this what's the story going to be. Um what the story is going to be. So in short, they outline, they summarize, they are trying to find the the gist or the essence or the lag line of what they are trying to express. Gardeners picking up thoughts while being in the moment of writing. It means that while writing, you're thinking deeply, which is pretty risky, but it's really not that time consuming compared to architects. Third, I want lengthen this thing up. I know that this is more of an opinionated statement, but what I've learned from writing based on my experience is to be okay with having creative blocks along the way. It's also fine if you're dispirited at some point. These are just sort of what I call bad days, and you are not able to produce any more juices from your brain. And what I usually do when this type of thing occurs is that either I'm taking a break for a day or two just to sort of refresh and clear my worries out, and at the same time somehow lessen my stress. I mean, it's not okay to be producible in this course. I mean, not producible. It's not okay to be non-producible in this course, but at some point, I think it's not bad after all to be slow, but producible. And I think that's what matters. What's important here is that at least you're trying to write and to read regardless of the circumstances. Nevertheless, your writing doesn't need to be perfect at first. It just had to exist. Whether you like it or not, there will always be a first draft and there will always be a revision. And by doing that, it's the closest thing to perfection. Trust me. Last is to, practice. By the means of practicing, you write, you read in this program. You know that there is no escape when it comes to writing, thinking, reading, and analyzing papers and pages using your linguistic lenses. It's for us to uh to sharpen. It's what it takes to be a good literature student, to master the arts in poetry and writing stories. That's the challenge, but it's fun. Here are some, you know, tips for you to improve your writing. And I find this very effective because this lesson was taught during our class in literature and profession. And you can tell that if you were to follow at least one of these tips, it would surely sharpen you as a writer. But then again, it does not make you the best writer in the world. It just makes you a good writer. Just don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's what that's the important part. That's the bottom line. Second frequently asked question in my course is, do I need to prepare a portfolio? In our case, not necessarily, and that's the beauty of it. On my end, during the enrollment and admission process, you don't need to create either an online or a physical portfolio, though they will ask you to provide some of your compositions or literary works for them, and they will test your skills in writing by prov- uh, providing you or giving you a 1,000 word essay relating to their university. Hint: the question is either your task on your task to write or why you choose that particular university whatsoever, etc., etc. What's your strengths and weaknesses, whatever, something like that. Anyways, you just need to either submit or recite one of your literary works. It could be poems, theater acts, um, uh, select a scene in screenplay, uh, yeah, something like that. They could that for them to view as a sample or a basis on what you do during your senior high. So, um, though on my end, I submitted a online compilation of clips of me acting in theater plays during the face-to-face interview. That's where I submitted my uh, clips, also the poems, the screenplays that uh, I write or contributed into. Though, unlike portfolio, you don't need to compile them just for nice impressions. Even it's just you need one literary composition, at least one or two literary compositions, and it's already enough for you to show. And I'm not sure about other universities. That's what happens on my end. No. So in short, I submitted four works. Two of them I submitted online, which is the clips and Pasigueme screenplay. And I printed out Hiraya's screenplay and my English month poem uh, during the face-to-face interview. Now, for the last part, which is, the last question, frequently asked question is, what do you need to expect or what to expect in college? Okay. I will set out four hymns. As you can see, these are four hymns, and I will set this out as an example in for you in Tagalog for you to understand completely. what I am trying to say. But I'm gonna try to, you know, to explicate the meaning of each of them and why did I say those things. Okay, the reason why I said this is that una or first is a lot of culture shocks to process. Soon, when you transfer from your chosen university, there's gonna be a lot of events planned during the orientation. You will find your place very welcoming, but in somewhat way, you will feel this uncertainty as if you were challenged that something's coming bigger in your way and you don't uh, know yet if it's a bad thing or a good thing. This goes for everyone who has a notion of anxiety and fear in their upcoming college life. And it may be tiring and uh but to think that it's not gonna be great for them, uh this I want to give you an advice. I just want you to know that there's no easy way in college. Professors there will not spoon feed you, so don't let them wait for your submissions, your late responses as if you were important. I mean, submitting overdue, cramming, procrastinating still do exist in college due to heavier duties and academic stress, more stressful than what I have felt during my senior high, in my opinion. But all I'm saying here is not only do you need to be prepared, you need to be disciplined. You you need to commit your you need to commit and put dedication on on the course that you chose, no matter how hard it is. And um if it comes to the point that you can't do it no more, uh, they're still giving you the option to shift as soon as possible. But the best that you can do is, to endure the suffering. That that doesn't mean na college is not fun. Though you will come to these points where you need to be serious with your studies, you can still have fun and find the right circle, find the right support system for you and others to improve. And yeah, I guess I guess celebrate small victories, Ren. Always reward yourself when you know that your hard work pays off. Attend events and uh concerts offered by the school. Don't forget to breathe and assist the moment, to be happy while your time is still vacant. Though it is, it is ironic because it's really hard to find time and make time in college. It is. And I hope you have a good practice of proper time management. Subject wise, it's beneficial for me when you're a student who is still uncertain of what your profession is going to be in the future. Literature is one of your friends. For this course has a wide or general options that you can choose from. A lot of job opportunities on my plate because either way I can apply in journalism, I can apply in script writing, or I can find a job related to freelance writing, translating, or copywriting. I can also be included in the jobs like content creator, media planner, ad sales reporter, and anything related to technical and creative writing. What's nice and beneficial about this is that since I am in a San Beda University, a business school, AB Literature and AB English is technically still part of the pre-law course. Yes, we're still included. So if by the near future, my mind might change, if maybe I could be a lawyer, perhaps I could be a lawyer, maybe not, but it is far-fetched for me. I know that's not what I want right now, so I'm staying here. Do note that despite your studying literature, you're not entirely focusing on literature itself. You will have OGTs, You will experience also thesis there. Uh, and also, uh, you will learn technical writing there, despite what we are more similar to creative writing. So, nevertheless, you're still gonna learn technical writing. Um, that's the writing more related to communication arts and journalism, because the usage of words there are very technical. When it comes to your teachers and professors, strict man or not, don't make your ego high above them. Always be humble. Always humble yourself. Don't be defensive when they are trying to correct your mistakes. They will help you regardless of them being strict or not. Because trust me, you don't need to be so hard on yourself if you ever made mistakes. You will learn along the way, and you should accept your defeats and failures, because lahat rin naman kami nanggaling dyan. Lahat tayo nagsimula sa day one. So, don't you ever give up. So, before I finish my part, let me leave you with this quote that will sum up your college life. No matter what courses or programs you will be under, always learn that through suffering, you will learn, and you will learn to survive. Again, I'm Paul Benedict. I really enjoyed this webinar. Again, I wish you all a very pleasant morning. Love your soul, love your existence, love yourself. Peace.